Running full system diagnostics. Machine status fully operational. System online. All stations are now enabled. Target dog the resistance. Operation overkill.
Hello, ladies and gents. Welcome to the 6th day of the Keystroke Cup Group stage. It's going to be a cracker today. This is the first day that we're going to have 3 matches. They were supposed to be last weekend, but load shedding and yada yada. So, anyway, I'm joined today with Mr. Helbert and Mr. Norihiro himself. How are you guys doing?
Fantastic.
Good, thanks yourself.
Yeah, it's good that you're fantastic. It's good that you're good. Myself, wait, what?
He was being polite, which is never expected by hosts. Like, oh, now I need to answer.
I want to know how he's doing as well. Come on, like this is not it's just a take situation. It's a give and take.
No, that's how it goes. But it's good to have you guys. Thank you for being on the Keystroke Cup. It's going to be a good couple games that we're going to be playing today. 6 total games if you're going to be watching the whole day. We got 3 matches of DUC versus Ratau Lebone, starting off right now in a couple minutes. Followed up with a nice bit of a gladiator match of XD Gaming versus Punks Interactive Gaming. That's going to be a nice one to go through. Hey guys.
So Punks and them, that's basically Soup and Jason them that reformed.
Soup, Jason, Nemi, yep.
They got Nemi this year onto the squad. He was actually one of the players people were scouting last year as one of the upcoming talents. So every time they're playing, I'm actually having a keen eye on Nemi to see how he's performing and how he's settling in like a Prem Division side. So. And they're performing well, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, they are tied top of their group with XD at the moment, so this is going to be a little tiebreaker there for the first place. Maybe they can pull out a 1-1, which is always nice to see and makes things interesting the deeper in the group stage you go. So yeah, it's going to be a good one there. And
no one wants to go 1-1.
No one wants to,
Okay,
but
look,
I mean, we want the 1-1s.
I think you always personally always want to win it, right? So you kind of want you want BO3s. That's what you really want.
Yeah, but
Then you go 2-1, and then you're happy. You get some more data. But obviously with group stages, a different kettle of fish. You want to have that opportunity to spice things up a little bit.
Yeah.
I do think that just on the topic of Soup in particular, I think it's time for him as well, in particular as an individual, to really step into the spotlight. I'm throwing back to, I think it was 2019 where he played for Goliath.
Championship.
And they won the championships with him, and he was kind of this like, whoa, up and comer. Like
People were like, who the hell is this kid? Like destroying everyone. Like
exactly.
Yeah.
But
And
he's
then
been
he
very
was
he's been hot and cold since then, eh? Like some days he would show up and he would could look like a like you said, the wow player, and then the next moment other games it's a bit wonky. But he has the talent and he just needs to stay consistent. I think that's more what it's about.
Yeah, definitely on that side. So as we can, you guys will be able to see here on the screen, these are the current group standings that we have at the moment. So Punks and XD tied there at the top of the group in Group A, followed by White Rabbit, Cthulhu, and Murloc. And then Group B, it's turning out to be quite a bit of an interesting match. We have a nice point distribution of 4, 3, 2, 1, and 0 for the side of MLGC. So we'll see if they can pick up a point later on today against Platoon. And that'll be our third match, actually. Platoon versus MLGC Nazguls. That'll be taking place at 9 p.m. And the XD versus Punks will be at 6:30. So if you guys want to tune in, go grab a snack, go grab dinner, whatever, you can come back and watch those games. They'll be live then.
Lots of data still to come.
It's going to be a long day. And anyway, we're going to be
day.
getting into the draft in just a second here, guys. So we'll see you in just a moment. Cheers. Okay.
team back.
There we have it. Into the draft, just like that. Nice and easy.
Yeah.
Nice and easy. Always.
Good. Anyways, yeah. So Ratau Lebone versus DUC. Did I get that right? I
It's
feel like I butchered that name.
Ratau, I believe.
Ratau.
Ratau.
Ratau Lebone.
Okay. I'm gonna call them rats. Let's go with that. They got like a hey. There's nothing wrong with rats. There was a bad response. Rats are great. They're such a smart animal. Like seriously, great pets. Go try one out.
I really don't think that's a rat on their flag, but okay.
It's one hairy ass rat then.
Okay, well, DUC is already getting into this quite hard. They've already taken out Alchemist, probably because this is a pool game stage, so it's a 1-1 series at best of 2, and they're not looking to drop a game due to cheese. Alchemist has seen some popularity coming up with the new Battle Fury build. You see some teams run him as an offlaner as well, where he just gets shard and chucks the potion onto people, but I'm thinking it's more, let's not just give them Alchemist. We're going to have to like then draft something that we don't want to play just to deal with it, and then it's still not a guaranteed win.
Yeah, I think the thing is that Elka is now in that spot where Puck used to be in many ways. Or in fact, Puck's probably always going to be in that spot. But it's just that you can move so drastically with your draft. I mean, at a pinch, you could probably still run Elka in that 4 positions. So there's definitely like a good reason to open with something like Alchemist. We can just play around.
I also think it's maybe just to take the pick out of the draft because DUC does rate the hero. In the Sun 5 series, they picked it for Crimson Tide. He's unfortunately not playing today. And I think he is like their designated Alchemist player. And because he's not here today, they just decided maybe like, okay, we think this hero is strong. Crimson's not here, let's get rid of it.
Yeah. What do you think it's early Wyvern, by the way? I find this kind of interesting that they went so early into that particular pick.
I think it's a comfort hero. It is good against heroes at the moment like Juggernaut, which is very popular. It might like stop the Jug from being picked. We've seen some teams trying to counter Jug with Omni Knight, but Wyvern is just a way easier. You don't have to commit an ulti for it. You can just put like the Cold Embrace on a target that's being Omni slashed, or if Juggernaut spins, you can just Winter's Curse him. So it might be like a block pick. They might want Juggernaut for themselves. I know Muffin Man plays it. And it's also... Like, the only thing I don't like about Wyvern is his lane presence. His spell CD level 1 and 2 is pretty like bad. Because Arctic Burn has got a 40-second CD on level 1. And then Splinter Blast level 1 you can't really use in the lane because it pushes the lane out. So unless you're playing him as a 4. As a 4 you can just like spam the lane the whole time. You don't really care. Make your carry fend for himself. But I think it's more, okay, if they want to pick Juggernaut now, or Troll Warlord for instance, let them go ahead and do it. Because they've banned OD as well, and OD is good against Wyvern.
I also got a point as well. They picked up the DP behind it, and I really like DP and Winter Wyvern on the same side. It turns DP into Silencer. Like it really does, because you just, if you get off a good Winter Curse, then you can just, do some geometry first before you pass, drop down your silence on DP. So it's for me as a nice selection here. And obviously also just the positioning is going to give you, if you're going to fight around something like DP, you want to fight for a while, so you also get an opportunity to find out where you want all your players positioned, etc. So I think it's a nice way to open up here for them. Also, however, like Warlock always, like that's kind of my rule. Like even when Warlock isn't a popular hero, I like Warlock because it's so disruptive into team fights, and Fatal Bonds is such it's such a understated spell and does so much work.
I agree with you. I just find the hero a bit too slow for like what the meta has been for like maybe the last year or two. Like you can't have your pos 5 not doing stuff on the map for 2 minutes at a time when he doesn't have ulti, and he doesn't have like any other stuns or something. He needs to rely on people playing around him. So I guess they have got the Ogre. I don't like that they started the draft with 2 supports. You can see DUC has picked a support and a mid. That's obviously a DUC legend, Death Prophet. He's known for the hero.
I was gonna put that out the last time they did play it as a pos 5 DP.
Yeah, like he mainly plays at mid, but that's his hero. Like if a Death Prophet is going to be drafted in this team, regardless of where Legend is playing, he'll be the one to play it. But I don't like that Radiant, I'm going to say Radiant because I can't pronounce that. I don't like that they started with 2 supports, because now it makes DUC's banning phase quite easy. You can see what they've done. They've taken out Monkey, they've taken out Mars. They don't have to worry about any supports that's going to stop their carry. They can just take out offlaners and cores at the moment.
5 seconds.
I mean, that's a yeah. I mean, you could technically run both Warlock and Ogre as a core, though. I'm just like, this is the thing I've been speaking a lot to people about, just in
Not
general.
2008, Devin.
It is though. It is 2008 because I do feel like you just get away with things these days. I mean, we see top teams do it all the time where they just pick this thing that you're expecting in one spot, and all of a sudden it's doing something totally different, and it works because it's like a once-off kind of spot. And Warlock and Ogre have both been played cores before, and I am a massive fan about, particularly with South African teams, is to pick things that you like, not necessarily things that are the strongest metas, because it's what you can get out of those heroes. So look, I'm with you guys. I think that's your 4 and your 5. But
if it was still a Midas meta, I would have agreed with you, because then those heroes can scale. But Midas has kind of died off a bit.
Well, you should probably take not a hero's advice when it comes down to it. Anyway, let's be reasonable. But hey, all I'm saying is, before you go there, I'm like the do you remember when like EG was the China killer back in like TI1? But like they weren't a good team, or was it Liquid? I can't remember. Anyway, so it doesn't matter. Like I do this, by the way. When much more analytically capable people say something in a Dota game, I will say something ridiculous, and I'll be right. So just hang 10. The verdict's not out just yet.
Throwing it out there.
Yeah.
Well, Dak has drafted probably one of the heroes I hate the most in this game. It's Ursa Warrior. The reason for my despise against this hero is, in the past, Ursa used to be from 5 minutes into the game to 20, he was strong, and then afterwards he would fall off. But with the new Battle Fury build, the hero just stays strong straight through. He farms ridiculously fast. He can kill you at any stage of the game. Where other heroes have like dips and spikes, Ursa kind of is like stable right through, and he can scale. I don't like Bristle into Ursa. It's actually a lane. It's actually player dependent. If they put the Warlock with the Bristleback, I think it's Bristleback favored. But Winter Wyvern, Arctic Burn does percentage-based damage, so that hurts Bristle, and then Ursa can actually kill him. Oh, and there's a favorite. Good old Snappy.
Yeah, this gives him a lot to work with. Hey, I mean, firstly, once more, you have a lot of movement you could still make here with what role you want to play, and you're 4 picks in already, so that's pretty impressive. I think the only one you can commit to right now is Ursa, right? Like or probably Wyvern as well, to be fair, but but Snapfire and DP can both still move around the map and change positions quite flexibly.
Yeah, you can do Snap mid, you can do Snap 3, you can do Snap 4, you can do Snap 5, make Wyvern a 4. I just don't like that Duck is making the draft hard to execute. Like, obviously, Snapfire wants to use his ulti in the team fights. They don't have much stuns, and you can't really Wyvern ulti into Snapfire ulti. Like, I guess you can wait for it to end and then start your channel. But like, how they take team fights is a bit wonky at the moment.
That's a very good point as well. And I was just saying how I like how disruptive Warlock is, and if you do get disrupted here, it's actually kind of hard to pick that back up. But with that said, though, I'm not a massive fan of what the Radiant was. Rats. We're going with it. We're going to commit rats. So
RL.
Fine. All right. I was happy with rats, man. Anyways,
so I'm a big fan of Phantom Assassin at the moment, but like the hero's win rate, the hero became very popular last year when Magnus. Yeah. I'm saying PA was very popular last year when Slardar and Magnus were like in the meta, because it's heroes that buffs are up. So if Slardar like amps a target, like Phantom Assassin can blow him up. And it was the same with Magnus. He gives him power. And then PA became so strong, people started picking her without those heroes, and then she started losing and she fell completely off. I don't think the hero is bad. I think the hero is really good, but she needs a steroid. And they have Ogre Magi in this case. I don't know if it's as good as an Empower or minus armor, but they do have a steroid for PA. So it's not a bad pick. I just also, once again, nothing jumps here except PA. Like the Ursa is obviously going to get a Blink Dagger, but like nothing from RL jumps into the faces of Duck. I don't know how they're going to kill this Death Prophet.
I also want to point as well that they're making a Silver Age the most value item in the game here, because it's just so like Bristleback and PA just there's an answer to both of them. And for something like Ursa, where you may have felt like, I don't really want to go for a Silver Edge. Like, not really. Now all of a sudden, just you can start realistically making those kind of decisions because, well, there's so much value in it. And one of the issues, of course, we're going to have is that Earth wants to build up damage over time up against something like a PA, and that's going to be quite challenging considering it's PA. So let's see what they go with. The Leshrac, though, finishing off this draft. Interesting. I don't know how I feel about that one.
It's a hero that I've been kind of experimenting with lately as well. His Ags is pretty cool. It gives him like a AoE E-blade, but he E-blades himself basically, and everyone in a 500-meter radius or 400-unit radius, and he doesn't get slowed by it though, but they do. So it's a pretty good game if he can get that, because the ghosts don't do any damage to him. Ursa doesn't do any damage to him. But by the time you get Ags, that Ursa is already going to be on his way to a BKB as well. I don't know. The Axe pick is good. That's your combo with a Snapfire. That's what I was talking about. Like ease of execution and fights. They've got easy Axe call into Snapfire ulti. The Death Prophet and the Wyvern can just like pick their targets. The Axe rounded the draft off nicely. I don't know how I feel about that Lesh pick. They're lacking like control. I know Warlock ulti is there and Ogre stun is there, but how are you killing this Death Prophet when she ultis? She gets bonus movement speed.
It also does feel a little bit incomplete, right? You're totally reliant on a little bit of luck or on your PA to destroy somebody. I mean, if you go for a pick-off here, you either need a multicast or you need a crit. You're not getting much initial damage out of your team at the moment. So if you do fall behind, I think it's something that's missing. And it's weird, though, because I don't dislike the Leshrac in the sense that it gives him some much-needed magic damage that's reliable. But at the same time, now
Yes,
I feel
I
like you're
agree.
really reliant on your PA having a good game because you need to get pick-offs in Dota at the moment. You can't just rely on winning team fights and we'll out-survive them. And even out-surviving them is a little bit hard because they have great sustain on their side as well. So draft-wise, I definitely think Duck's got the better of it. And I'm a little bit worried about, once more, about the fact that you can't pick people off right now. And to me, that's going to make things very hard if you fall behind.
Oh, I can't move my camera. That's horrible. I have to follow the observer. That's chill though. Small issue, but it's not a problem.
That's
It's
unfortunate.
Well, I can look at the hero's items. It's fine.
Well, anyways, let's.
Did you see Bristleback's little comment there?
A wyvern's breath.
He
Looking smoky.
literally asked them, "Why do I have 3 of you muted?"
Yeah,
30 seconds.
That's a nice way to start off a game, like throwing it out there.
Well, that's it means we'll have some banter one way or another. I mean, there's definitely gonna be some real one from both these teams.
To just do a quick restart. I'm actually on Phantom Assassin's player perspective, and I can't take it off.
Gotcha. Yeah, let's get back in. I'll take care of the honors. Meanwhile, we are gonna have a little bit of a tussle at the Roche pit, and DUC are gonna start off in style because they are right behind, and they should find the first pick off here onto March 6, and will do just that. And there could be a little bit more in it if they want it. Gonna be satisfied with just that one, but of course that did mean that the bounty runes actually went no, I lie. There went 3-1 as well. So Duck off to a very nice start here, and that's a tough one to bounce back from as well. It just sets the precedent that you can't really expect a standard look from this DUC side. They have put Duck Legend mid with that DP as well. This feels like a very old school matchup, in fact. We saw a lot of this back in the day, and Smartstix has got that first level in Split. Often you just take down the shooter creep, but in this case you're going to get some damage out for it as well. But I do think this is one that goes really down to the better player. Obviously the advantage of stun going the way of Smartstix, but on the other side, Legend has got Spirit Siphon that you can just undo so much damage.
Okay, I'm back in and it's fixed. Okay,
Welcome back. So, top lane, you spoke a little bit about the Winter Wyvern earlier on. How do you feel about this one? Because I feel like there's a lot of pressure that BB and Ogre can put on.
So, I like Ursa against Bristle, especially with a hero like Wyvern with him.
Radiant's courier has been killed.
He's got a natural high armor base. He's got base 4 armor. If he gets like 1 Wraith Band, these coils are going to hurt much less. And with Arctic Burn, they can kill this Bristle. It's harder with the Ogre there, but they can. We missed a kill. Snapfire?
No, Hopefully I was good. No, I was watching that, but actually it was a little bit strange that they got that kill. I mean, they were able to just run him down. I mean, that's not the kind of kill you expect. I mean, it's a Warlock and a PA at level 1 and 2.
Neither of them has a Orb of Venom, so that was just, I guess, dagger spams and then some Warlock Shadow Word onto the Snap, and he took down. It's strange because Snapfire is a strength hero. She's got quite a high base HP. She starts with 600 HP.
Well, I will say this much: Olaf is doing a lot of work here, just putting a lot of aggression onto Micho in the bottom lane, and I wouldn't be surprised that's literally what happened. They just got to a point where hold on, this Warlock's hurting us a lot, and now we can follow it up with hold on. It actually, they got to get it back because they might just be able to bring down Pierre here, trying to move towards the support, but not enough time. The heal did come through, but unfortunately, Battle Hunger too strong for that situation.
When Warlock is pulling like that, the Phantom Assassin can't be so far forward. Like he literally just got cookied. Our Axe got cookied into the PA stun, Battle Hunger. He went 2 levels into Battle Hunger as well for lane pressure. When Warlock did the right thing, he needed to leave the lane to pull it, to get it back under control, but the PA can't be that far forward. He needs to be farming small camp or something, or just dagger farming, but he can't be right in front of the tower trying to hit creeps.
That's the kind of mistake you'll kick yourself for as well, because it actually does so much more than that. I mean, there is a very stack now going on the other side on those Ancients, where the Axe can probably pick up. You can see that the momentum has now been lost in this lane, so you just kind of feel it was so unnecessary because you could have so easily not done that either. They lose their boots on their courier, so this
small little errors. It's getting really hard because those boots are really valuable against the Battle Hunger. He needed them.
And here's the thing is that you look at those kind of issues and you go, that's just not the kind of mistake you would expect to make back-to-back in lane. And DUC are a very experienced team. They're going to punish you for that. And Supermax looking very aggressive here again, but he's got to be careful because although there's only 1 level in that counter helix, it really hurts. It looks like they are going to recommit to this bottom lane again. But the comeback is there. So Rance under fire, but Olaf also being taken down mid here. And he should be able to run down the Warlock and Wolf. Now he can help out his friend as well here. So Supermax realizes immediately that this fight has been lost and has to back off. So what looked like a lane that they shouldn't have won has almost played out in a very interesting way because they're now losing it as somewhat expected, I guess, with the pressure.
Leshrac went down middle as well. Death Prophet just run him down with the Siphons.
Bottom lane, they might lose this PA again. Unfortunately, does have the Siphoning Dagger. Should be able to survive the damage here coming out from this level 2 Battle Hunger, but a lot of pressure here. And as you mentioned, it's all kind of falling apart at the moment. 104 very early on here. Do you see, if they get ahead, I don't really see much opportunity for them to pull this one back, or rather for RL to pull this one back. And
so this Leshrac actually, I think, he made a mistake with his skill build. So against a melee hero, his skill build is 100% correct. You want to do Diabolic Edict, and he's putting pressure onto the tower with it, which is nice. But against a Death Prophet that's running you down, you needed levels of the Lightning Storm. It slows, it gives 75% movement slow. It's only for 0.4 seconds, level 1, but he's going to get run down again.
Yeah, this is problematic. And you can see with that haste equipped as well, there's pretty much no chance for him to survive this, and no rotations coming either, which I think was a mistake, because, I mean, Legend falls to the tower. I was going to say, it's very likely he dies here, but he was actually able to get a fair amount of damage off of the Lightning Bolt, and Lightning Storm, and in the end, one rotation probably turned her into a dead DP and a living Leshrac. So
yeah, and it's about the first 5 minutes as well. You can harass the Death Prophet from range without her getting siphons off, just doing damage to her, so you can actually farm the lane. Death Prophet will respawn with a teleport scroll ready though. Leshrac has to run back to lane, so he's actually just going to wait 5 seconds and then TP in. Top lane ripple back.
It does in fact still undo that advantage. BB very low, but does survive it. And 7-2. This is really aggressive. Bottom lane as well now. We have once more the action breaking out here, but Rance may have overstayed his welcome. They're going to try to run down, but they now have to respect that axe. And he's going to charge directly under the tower. Doesn't need to do much more than that though, because he's pushed them off Rance regardless. And does mean that once more they're winning this lane quite handily. And you can see the last hits, although Supermax is getting some, the top 3 in the map at the moment do belong to DUC. So they're getting very far ahead very early on. And of course, it's not just the fact that they're getting last hits, it's the fact they're also controlling the lane. I mean, you look at this bottom lane, it hasn't done much in the form of pulling or stacking or anything like that, but you know, they have a big stack of Ancients on the other side. So problems right now.
That's rough. Thing is that's just the thing with this Warlock pick. Like, you can heal up your carry the whole time if there's damage over time, but with a Snapfire Cookie combo, you just games die. I also do think he needs an Orb of
Top
Corrosion.
lane here. Looks like they will also find the kill onto the Ogre Magi. So 9-2. It's hard to keep up with all the kills going here. And Silent, got to be careful here. Bristle might actually fall here on top of it. They do back off Muffin Man. He respects the damage that's going to come out from this Quill Spray, but somewhat damage done because Silent can't stay in the lane now. He's going to have to back off. He's going to have to fly in some regen or something. And of course, Muffin Man, he's looking healthier for it. He's going to be having the supportive end, so he's got the healing cell that can be applied, and I'm sure it will be, and there it is. So right now, I think the worst thing that's happening for DUC is that Legend died after getting a kill, and that's not so bad.
It's just smarter Dota at the moment. If you look at the items just on the carries, Ursa went straight wand into Orb of Corrosion. Obviously wand because he's in the Bristle backline, but with the Orb of Corrosion it gives him kill potential. Like PA went double Wraithband and a Blightstone. He should have basically copied what the Ursa did. Is he should have had a wand as well for all the spam in the lane, and then the Orb of Corrosion, because then he can actually harass this axe with daggers. And just
sorry, mid lane. This is going to be very interesting here. Legend actually might fall with Exorcism up, and does.
Very well played.
Got to hand it. I think the use of the Illusion Rune really was critical, and he's going to get rewarded for his aggression. Smart6 will also pick up a regen, so a desperate requirement for RL, but they're going to get just that.
He needs to shove out this lane very hard now and use the Diabolic Edict. There's off cooldown, you need to force him to use the glyph. He needs to pop this regen. There we go.
I really like it as well, and also really making the most of that regen rune, because whilst he's going to pick up
They didn't glyph the tower. That's a mistake.
Yeah, that is unnecessary, but I really like the fact that it also just the little things. You know, we were talking about little mistakes and how they can cost you, but you can see Smartflix made no mistake. Realized had the regen, tanks him the tower shots, just to make sure that there was every little bit of pressure on the tower required, and in the end, they do get something very useful. I thought they were going to lose that tier 1 tower mid to the pressure of the DP very early on, but just turned around so quickly from one smart movement.
I just want to see them use the map control now. Like, you've got that mid tower down, you put a support there, let them shove out the lane, and then the Leshrac can start farming jungle and rotating around the map. Like, give one of your underleveled supports that lane, it's pushed in, let them deep push it, and then you kind of
bottom lane again. So much aggression onto this PA, and I don't see how you survive this. Such clever movements from the Axe as well. Immediately backed off towards the Warlock the moment that core ended, so he could stay right on top of him. And of course, this is going to be an interesting one. Maybe they can pull in some support to help out. But if I was DC, I realize my Axe has 11 1 charges. Unless somebody TPs in here, there's no reason for me to feel scared. I definitely try to find this kill. The only thing is Rand's going to be a little bit careful that he doesn't die to the failed bonds which have been applied, but regardless, this is probably a dead PA again.
Yeah, she's already within dunk range. Axe can literally just press R and she's dead.
Oh well.
Yeah.
Even
so
easier. Okay.
the dunk range level 1 is 250. She's on 195 HP. So yeah, he can insta kill her. I don't think they're gonna get more. But this Warlock has nothing. He's only got boots. They can actually maybe run him down.
I feel like you don't even need to though. Like, in a way, you can leave the Warlock where he is, because what it means when Supermax gets back to lane, if you've checked the mana pool, you'll know that Supermax is totally vulnerable. Will fall here in the end, brought down again by DUC. And if you look at the net worth, that is where it's really starting to show. I mean, fortunately, they did manage to get the kill onto the DP, so Smart6 has got a fair amount of money in his coffers, and he's competitive, sitting at 4k alongside the Death Prophet of Legend as well as the Ursa from Muffin Man. But the problem starts when you start looking at your PA and your Bristleback. Your Bristleback and your PA far off the mark of the cause on the side of DUC.
The problem is, well, Bristleback is not a hero that can, just with his spells, have a massive impact in the game. He's not someone that's going to blink in and stun you or drop a big team fight ulti. He needs an item or two to start being a nuisance. It looks like he wants to go Vanguard. If he can't get this Vanguard sub 14 minutes, his game is over. And by the looks of it, he's nowhere even close. He's trying to finish his treads first, and then he wants to go Vanguard afterwards. In any of these offlaners, the only time they're building Vanguard is if you have a massively good start and they get it like pre-10. like 12 minutes at the latest, because you need your second item around 15, because you're the person who needs to control the tempo on the map. And he's still trying to finish his trades. He needs to change up his item build here, otherwise he's not going to have a game. He needs to get a hood. He needs to turn it into Eternal Shroud or a pipe or some, or like, I don't know. Like, he needs to. I also don't like the treads. He should have gone phase boots in the Ursa lane, so he has a bit of extra armor. But he needs to. Maybe they should start stacking for him. I think that's the only way you're getting this Bristle back into the game. He needs to start stacking. He needs to get an item or two before 15 minutes, and then he can start applying pressure, because Ursa is very close to his Battle Fury, like extremely close, and Phantom Assassin is nowhere close. She's still trying to finish her phase boot. Ursa's already got his Battle Fury, let's say, a quarter completed.
What I'm also not seeing here, what I don't like, just on the point, is that this PA is down again, right? We obviously just saw her die. She's really struggling to find any kind of momentum going forward or any space on the map. But it's not going to get easier, because one of the other things about Axe that makes your life even harder is that this Axe has so many options available right now. He's having a time of his life in this lane, that you realize that as long as he can just keep this PA out of the game, that they don't have many late game threats that they need to worry about right now. And one of the big things for me is that Axe is unlike many of the cores you have in this offlane position, in the sense that he can literally terrify your PA by simply not being shown once he has a blink dagger. And that means he can be in top lane causing problems by just terrifying this PA into a position where she's farming in a poor pattern just because she realizes that she cannot deal with an Axe as a hero that has low HP, and that evasion is not going to help against counter helix.
I 100% agree, but the thing is, like, as well, Ratau is not stabilizing their lanes. They busy losing two out of the three lanes, and the mid one is kind of like a back and forth. But why not rotate this Ogre to your Phantom Assassin's lane, secure a bit of farm, because it's 10 minutes into the game. Usually, like other teams start moving around the map, doing stuff already, but the laning phase is still very stable. Ogre is still sitting top. The Warlock and the PA is still sitting bottom.
This is problems. Bottom lane here. They do manage to slow down the Axe for a little while, but there could be anything coming out here. Scatterblast would be enough. Oh, the connection with the call not there, as Supermax lives to fight another day, but that was really close. And this is what we're talking about. To me, this is the pinnacle of the problems right here. You need to bring in some sort of support. I totally agree. Bring the Ogre down. I think Silent's doomed. I do not think this Bristleback is going to have a regular game at all, but you can still try to get something out of it. Right now, you're losing 3 lanes. Maybe you've kind of pulled back mid, but even then, the Leshrac is still behind in net worth. So
who ate the tome on Radiant side? Because they should have given it to this Warlock so they can actually do a counterplay. Oh, he just bought it now.
You're a psychic, literally coming through to the exact player.
Yeah, it's a little bit late because he would have had his ulti for that aggression. Oh, they did.
Oh yeah, once again, bottom lane, they find yet more kills. And this time they're bringing in the Leshrac, but this is too late. I mean, now what you've done is you have brought in this Leshrac, but of course, your mid lane now open for Legend and say, well, I have Exorcism up, you don't have TP, I can probably take your mid tower here. Not a good rotation, but it's almost like they want to do it, but they're just not finding the space to be able to do it.
It's just too stagnant. Like they need to start playing proactively. Like the amount of pressure that's being put onto this Phantom Assassin. Ideally, you would want to move your carrier away from this lane and put him in the off lane, but this Ursa is too big. Like if he goes to that lane, he'll just die as well. But he needs support. So either he needs to move to the top lane where the Ogre is at, and then you just give the Warlock this lane solo bottom, and they try and do something top lane. But you can't just stay stagnant. Like Leshrac TP'd in from middle. He was farming around jungle area in the middle. If you can see, the small camp on the Radiant side is farmed. So Leshrac he took the mid tower about 5 minutes ago, and he's just been sitting middle, and the 2 side lanes have just stayed the same. There's been no rotations, nothing to relieve this pressure. They have to start pulling supports and maybe an offlaner into a lane, and they need to start doing something. Like it's the only way they're gonna this Ursa is gonna start out farming this Phantom Assassin very soon.
You know, and on top of this rotation bottom from Leshrac, I'm so sad that it came through. Like I felt that should have been cancelled. Like you realize that the moment that you lose your PA, even if you rotate they can back off the Warlock. They're not going to bother to kill them, and then your rotation is actually useless. I get the feeling this was almost like a frustration thing. Was like, listen, we're not rotating well. Let's just send something. And the one guy on the map that had some kind of position where they could enforce a good rotation and find kills was, you know, just almost reflex TP'd, but they killed those 2 players on there so quickly that it didn't even matter. And they set up beautifully with that ultimate coming from the Snapfire. The damage that's coming out from Axe is significant at this point as well. For points into Battle Hunger. And now what's going to happen is Mikio, once again, there's just so many options because he can just run down the bottom of this lane now and pick up the creeps before they arrive because he does have the 2 encounter helix, and that'll mean that Smart 6 can't leave this lane because there's going to be pressure on the tower, which means you're going to lose mid. And, well, top is pretty much, that's DUC land anyways. I don't think Muffin Man has under any pressure up here whatsoever. He's a 5.4k. I mean, somehow the guy who's almost felt like the least involved in our broadcast at the very least is sitting at the highest net worth in the game. And you know what? I can guarantee you he's not going to be uninvolved for too much longer because the moment he gets that Battle Fury up, his item progression is going to soar and he's going to get really aggressive really fast.
Yeah, his zero's already scary. He's 3-0-3, hasn't died at all. And he's 1,000 gold away from his Battle Fury. Like, he's right there. They need to start putting pressure on these lanes. I would have preferred this Leshrac, this exact rotation that he made. He goes top, and then he tries to take the tower with the Edict, and then you can start limiting this Ursa space, try and like just follow him around. But like we said in the drafting phase, they don't have anything that can follow this Ursa around. Like, if you see him, Ogre can stun him for a little bit, but after that, what do? He's going to run right back at you, and he's going to hit you. This Warlock needs to get this tome. They need to set up, do a smoke play, drop the Golem, and try and get some kills. I think this Axe is on a killing spree. Yeah, he's 4-0-2. So he's probably the target you want to be using this on. Get that gold onto one of your cores. Just get them back in the game.
The thing is that Axe is about to pick up. I'm assuming at the moment that he's going straight for the Blink Dagger because he's on 2.1k gold at the moment. But this is the worst case scenario I think you can have as a team. Your lanes are falling apart. No, I lie. You got one thing to work with. You have mid tower down, right? So there's some kind of passageway to invade from there and to be sneaky. But overall, there's very few things that are going wrong for DUC. And that's one of the bigger problems as well, is that often you're playing a Dota game and you're almost like, well, how do I make things go right first? Sometimes you have to take the perspective of how do I make things go wrong for them? And right now, it's just there's no pressure anywhere. And that's, I think, where we once again throwing back to the rotation. Because even if you went the other way, even if instead of rotating the Ogre down to the safe lane, but rather just sacking your core, which I think under most circumstances would be a really bad idea to give your PA nothing. But even then, by just making the Ursa's life harder, you're getting something. Right now, you've done nothing to address the issue. You haven't made any lane changes. Your rotations, there's been one rotation that's come through from Arctic, and unfortunately for them, it wasn't a good rotation.
So Phantom Assassin would have gotten more farm out of the top lane with 3 heroes there at the moment than he is doing bottom and dying over and over again. So top lane, he would have not have died. There's 3 heroes with him. Bristleback can like farm jungle, swoop in when he needs help. There's an Ogre to stun these heroes running at you. And then he would have not have died as much. Like, that's the thing. Like, when you feel like as a safe lane carry, when you feel this much pressure in your lane, you want your top lane to put as much pressure as possible. They have a Leshrac that can push down towers. Go top, force that tower, even if you lose a support or 2, and then rotate your carry there so you can actually get some farm.
On top of this as well is that you can't allow this Axe to get this faster Blink Dagger, because the other problem on top of this is that, cool, so the one thing, once again, we keep saying, the one thing that's going for you is your Leshrac. And as you just mentioned, you can apply some pressure towers. So that's one way you could start pulling the game back. Get some towers, get the position to engage, and unfortunately, okay. Yeah, so Legend Wolf pick up the mid tower as well. So now, okay, Silent, you don't want to be there, because even though you got your back turned to the man, he can get in front of you potentially, and he's just running him down. He gets support coming from end from the sideline as well, and should be able to finish the job quite easily, and does. So gets a freebie.
Action bottom as well.
Didn't need that one, but they do find something finally. It's just the support though. Picking up a Snapfire right now, DUC don't care at all. And of course, Mitchell, he doesn't even want to lose his tower. This is probably the tower they care about least in the game, but he's not even threatened off it. So he's just farming underneath it for the time being. He's still got a big stack waiting as well.
Blade Mail before Blink Dagger.
Well, I mean, that's... I'm kind of interested in the fact he did that because he didn't buy any of the very useful items for an axe that come before on a blade mill. But look, you know, at this point, I don't think I would have done it myself. I think I probably would have gone for that blink, especially after saving to the point where you could definitely have it.
It might be a thought process around this Leshrac. The Leshrac's the only one that's doing well. So if Leshrac runs into a fight, Axe puts his blade mail on.
Oh, talking about Axe from lane 1-4, there's no way out of this. This is a super dead. Yeah, that's not regular dead.
And I guess he has the cookie for like a little mini blink.
Fair enough. That's a fair enough. I mean, from my perspective though, I guess normally when you're playing an axe from ahead, you can just almost disappear jungle and then just pick up people with a blink dagger as you like. But I think it's almost hard to criticize at this point because DUC are so far ahead, it almost doesn't matter. I feel like
he got the blade mill pre-12 minutes, and he's already back on 1,000 gold. So he's still going to have this blink dagger timing round.
This TP is in bottom lane. 1-6 wants a piece of this, but I mean, they can kill him here, and they're going to look for this kill. That's exactly what they're going to do. Battlehunter comes in. There's no way he can defend himself. He's going to die to the blade mill. And you know what?
That's why he got it. I take my words back. That's the reason he got it.
Why are you taking them back? It's like it's what you said, and I mean, I'm impressed. It's like these guys are playing to your script. But is there a sting in this tail? Because right now it doesn't look great. They do try to find kill to Rant, but the support is there because they're going to bring some players down here. Looks like they want to bring down the safe lane tower. Natural progression, and 5-19, 8k lead for DUC. This is.
So I originally criticized the blink mail from Taki, and then after looking at the game, I take my words back and I say it. Yeah, okay. So Leshrac, this axe is just gonna run at him. So that's also probably why he went treads over phase boots, because he wanted more raw HP against the magic damage. So he's itemizing specifically just to, okay, Leshrac is the only one doing well. I'm just gonna find him and I'm just gonna run at him. If he casts any spells, he's gonna die. But still, this top lane is still way too stagnant, Halberd. This Ogre has not left this top lane since the start of the game. Like, he's still sitting here. Ursa is level 12. Bristleback is level 7.
Yeah.
And Ogre has just been stealing this Bristleback's XP. He hasn't moved off the map. He just doesn't know where to go.
In mid lane, they're going to pick up the Leshrac as well. The one thing that was going right, and they're going to commit everything. They don't care. Legend says, cool, let's go. I will take you. And then I'm going to try to put some pressure on, because you don't just pop your ulti for nothing. So where are you going to go? Looks like top lane is the call. And there are 3 victims waiting up there. And that's what they feel like right now. And they're going to go commit straight into double silence. Comes off Legend, leading the charge. Not scared at all. Goes under the tower. He's doing so much damage. They're not able to bring him down. He's also got this ult that he can use defensively. They drop the rock in with the Warlock. Oh my word, he is just deleted. He's absolutely destroyed. And Silent tries to find something, but he's going to fall as well. The Yules works out. The only man alive in the end is the PA. And the only reason that man is alive is he's nowhere near the action. They're going to take this top tower down as well. And right now, DUC are simply giving lessons on how to push a lead. And I don't see this changing anytime soon.
They don't have any damage. Like, there's no damage from the supports. There's no big ultis apart from the rock, but it doesn't really do damage. It's more a stun factor. This Ogre is not contributing.
Lane, they're going to catch out this PA again, and they commit the ulti from the Snapfire as well. We didn't forget about you. That's basically what that was. Listen, I know you survived that last fight, but we want to send you home anyway. So here's one first-class ticket a la Axe.
Good old yeehaws there by Snapfire. Thing is that, like, these supports need to stop playing around this Leshrac. He's the only hero on their team at the moment that can actually kill something, and like, they're just way too stagnant. Nothing is happening.
I think this is almost reached that point where you just start looking at this and going like, how do we recover in our next matchup? Because this isn't dominant. This is something else. This is
They just need to draft more stable if they're going to the next game. They need simple stuns. They need simple combos. We've seen the Snapfire Axe cookie into call or Axe call into Snapfire ulti. It's just simple combos. Like, Wyvern was there to provide slows for the Ursa. That's a little mini combo by itself. And then you have all this happening with the Death Prophet. Oh, it's PA's dead again.
Yeah, caught out in bottom lane. There is absolutely no space being given, and now we do have that blink dagger up as well. So it's just gone from worse to unfortunate experience. And I mean, there's something that's going right for them. The Wyvern's having a bit of a hard time, and
so this Ogre needs to start putting levels into Bloodlust, and Phantom Assassin needs to be going into the enemy's jungle with Bloodlust and trying to get some farm. His items have stayed the same for the last 12 minutes. Like, he hasn't gotten a single item in 12 minutes.
The map must feel so tiny for them, though. I mean, you can see the fact that you have, well, you're trying to defend your small camps. Legend, though, turns around, wants to deliver, drops the ulti, but does he actually still want a piece of this? Yes, he does. There is a little bit of support coming in as well. They're trying to control the Axe in the back lines, but they're going to lose their Warlock as well. PA, though, you need to get out. You need to realize this fight is lost, but Legend has tracked you down. Does have the support coming from Smartrix, so this actually could...
Done.
Surely there's something. They're just having to flee. There's nothing in it at the moment. Supermax blinks out to silent, but they're just trying to survive. This is like, I don't know, infos or something when things go wrong, because right now you're being dived underneath your tier 2 tower, and Muffin Man shows his face as well. Everyone wants a piece of it. The Wyvern's not even in this game at the moment. Smart Tricks will drop Diabolic. Edict starts backing off. Might be able to turn his attention to Muffin Man, but he has the Aegis, so he's happy to fight right now. Fatal Bombs is good though. It is on all three, but once again, they're just inning and out, because the moment that DUC decide to turn around, they're going to do just this, and they drop the rock, but there is nothing there for it. That is just a sacrificial rock. It's like some sort of offering, like, here, take my money.
Damage. There's no damage. Like, 4 out of the 5 heroes don't do any damage. Like, this is rough. Like, it's very rough. You can see that, like, the Ursa ran into that fight. He saw the Leshrac, he was like, oh, okay, I need to stay away from this guy. And once the Leshrac's mana was finished, there's nothing else to threaten him at all. And he just turned around and he clawed him to death. Rough.
Yeah, this is difficult, and let's go a step back here, because obviously we as entertainers for today. I mean, the entertainers are the players, but you know, us that have the responsibility of bringing this to you. I do think that there's a point you also have to point. This is DUC, right? And I think in many ways we need to acknowledge that this is not your ordinary Dota team, and often you will struggle to see the difference in what a side like DUC can offer when they're only playing against other fantastic, you know, top level teams and such, right? And this isn't to disrespect RL, but just the fact that they are going to be better players after this third year. That's
Yes,
one thing. So
100%.
you get an opportunity to learn so much from the type of people that you're playing against. And DUC are showing exactly why they are a team that has been, I would say, has achieved legendary status in South Africa due to the fact that they have been around for so long and so consistently been able to perform at these kind of levels.
And let's not forget, last year was probably the best year they've ever had. I think they finished 4th in the championship, 6th in the championship last year. They have been hands down. Last year was one of the best years they had. They took a game off Sim 5, the champions for last year, in the pool stages. I know they had September and Crimson playing in those games for them, but this entire stack has been playing Dota together for years. I know Muffin Man is a newer entry, but he's one of the players that's been performing probably on a higher level than most carries, and he's growing. Like, I know he's their designated POS 1 at the moment.
Yeah, I just once again moving back towards the fact that you're playing up against side as good as DUC here. This is almost, in my mind, one of the reasons that we need to have more competitions like Keystroke, and this is like, you know, free plugs, everyone. But the thing is, one of the reasons we need this kind of thing is because now you get to see what it's like, right? I think there's been a lot of competitions that are tailored towards, you know, newer sides, and that's great. But these are the games you're going to learn so much. This is how you become a team like DUC is by playing these exact sort of competitions.
The amateur cups are needed, and they're great. And the teams that are playing in those tournaments, like, it's a nice stepping stone for you to grow. But it also at some stage is creating a little safety blanket for people where they don't actually realize like where some of the teams in the country are. And tournaments like Keystroke Cup, which caters for all teams in the country to play, this is where you get exposure. This is where you learn. Like, you go look at this, and you don't go look at what you did wrong. That's not how you're going to learn. You're going to go look at what the enemy team did right. Why did we get pressured? Why couldn't we farm? Like, how could we have changed our lanes? What did they do in a correct manner to stop us from doing what we wanted to do? And that's how you grow as a team and learn. So it is a best of 2. So hopefully, I think if they change up their draft, they'll be way more competitive. But as long as they take something from this game and not be demotivated or dehearted by it.
I understand. I think these are these kind of games where you really can just put them down to some you win, some you learn from. But I think one of the big things as well is that you've got to take away from the draft. As you mentioned, the original picks here, I mean, I ended up not being right at all, but you opened up with your 2 sports, and that made your life harder immediately. And you may not see it. I think that's one of the problems with newer drafters, is that you often don't see the damage, you just see things go wrong. But it's because you didn't actually have the opportunity to necessarily change some of those things. You gave your opponents one less thing they had to worry about into the drafting phase. In the end, they were able to...
So that happens from playing a lot of pubs, but not playing a lot of competitive games. Because when you join a pub, what's the first 2 picks that happens? Pick the 2 supports. and then these stacks like go into a competitive game, and then they kind of copy that. Like, okay, we're picking out 2 supports so we can see where we're going to play as carries. Oh, there's slaughter happening here.
Let's give this one more big shot, because they are going to bring down that Leshrac. The Shining Hope brought down early on, but he will buy back. Can they make something of this? Can they turn this fight around? Anything right now? One last swan song. Very, very low HP Leshrac. Trying to run in on the front lines will be very, very challenging, and they're not able to find anything. The dieback is there.
That's the first ulti of this game.
They do, in fact, find the last 2 kills almost immediately. And in the back lines they go. Axe saws down, and they're going to bring down that Warlock again. That's,
GG called.
I think, 9 deaths or something. And a lot of people bought back there. And the GG, as mentioned, has been called. And you can't blame them for them tapping out at that point. That's a fairly decided game.
30k at 23 minutes. That's rough. But yeah, like we said, like just don't pick your 2 supports the next game first. The guys just need to calm down, and they need to draft easy combos, and then they can put up a bigger fight next game.
I definitely agree with that. Is that if you can, especially if you lose the first match, the next match becomes that much harder, because now you're up against a team that is feeling incredibly confident, and when you consider the fact that only 2 players on the team were able to actually get a kill, that is really significant. But when you think about the fact that there are so few players that even felt that they were involved in kills, I mean, there were only 6 in the entire game, and 5 of them came from the Leshrac.
Yeah, it was very stagnant.
You have to really do a lot of work to get on the front foot again. And I do think that if you pick towards a very strong laning phase, you at least will then feel like you're allowed to play Dota. And if you're allowed to play Dota, then maybe you can make something happen. And even if you lose, but instead of losing in 23 minutes, you lose in 45, that's a step in the right direction. And I think that's where RL need to go in this next matchup, because it's going to be a tough ask to beat DUC, I think, with the current experience that the roster has.
Yeah, so they just need to calm down, reset, simpler combos, and they just need to play their Dota. They kept playing the Dota that Duck wanted them to play.
So I guess we'll be taking a quick break for about 50 minutes, and then we'll be back with some more action as DUC take on... you said better than me, not Hero, so do it.
What must I say?
You said the name better. RL. We'll just go with RL.
RL or Ratau.
Ratau Lebone. Like, I don't know, I'm Italian or something. Anyways, see you guys shortly.
Cheers.
Puffy's going to come in, push him, yeah. He's going to find him. Unfortunately, he's not going to find all the frags. Oh, Chili's done it. He's won round. One on him.
eyes open, I can see the light shining through. Good morning, blinds open, I'm coming home to you. Soft with the weather, cool with the breeze. Flip through the pages of reality. Float like a feather out to the sea. Roam like a lion, living wild and free. Just like that, snap my fingers. Just like that, dreams get bigger. Just like that, paint a picture. Just like that, just like that, just like, just what you want, you have it. Just like. Just like that. Just like Just like anything you want, you can have it. Whatever you need, you can grab it. Just like anything you want, you can have it. Whatever you need, what you need. Good evening, eyes closing. We can see the stars shining through. Good evening, blinds closing. It's just me and you. Soft with the weather, cool with the breeze. Flip through the pages of reality. Float like a feather out to the sea. Roam like a lion, living wild and free. Just like that, snap my fingers. Just like that, dreams get bigger. Just like that, paint a picture. Just like that, just like that, just like, just what you want, you have it. Just like. Just like that. Just like that. Just like anything you want, you can have it. Whatever you need, you can grab it. Just like anything you want, you can have it. Whatever you need, what you need.
Close your eyes, seek paradise. Won't change your mind. Can't shape the lights. I'll take the chance and roll the dice. I want it all, just for the night. I live it out like I'll never die. I lose my head in the starry skies. Can't chain me down, I feel so alive. Back down, only one way out. I let you run my life. Now you won't get me down. Untamed, guess I lost my mind. You turned me inside out. No one can stop me now. So turn up the light.
Okay, welcome back, everyone. Don't call me a liar. We were. It was just already fast 15 minutes. So let's just go with that one. Anyways,
Yeah, it was 50 minutes. It was just went by